Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Jasleenxbeauty. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and join the fam. So in today's video, I'm back with my top 5 foundations. So I'm planning on doing this top 5 series so I can share with you guys the foundations that I love, the concealers that I love. So I'm going to be doing like a top 5 foundations from the drugstore, top 5 foundations from high-end, and concealers, foundations, blushes, and all that jazz, just so you guys know what are my like favorite foundations and products, because I have like so much makeup. So I tend to get these questions a lot, like what are your favorite foundations, what are your favorite concealers, and I don't have like one pick. So I thought, why not do a top 5 drugstore foundations, because I tend to use drugstore foundations quite a lot, especially on a daily basis. I do wear drugstore foundations most of the time, so I tend to switch my foundation quite a lot depending on my skin type. So I have like combination skin, so my T-zone is pretty oily and it's also really dry as well, because I tend to use like a lot of acne controlling products on my T-zone because my skin is super like sensitive and acne prone. So that's why my T-zone is like the oiliest. So if I don't moisturize my skin is like the driest around my mouth, around my nose. That's why I tend to like switch into my foundation. So if my skin is feeling really dry, I'm gonna use like a serum oil-based foundation, and if my skin is pretty oily, I'm gonna use like a water-based foundation. And some days I like to go like all town, really full coverage, and on some days I like to keep it pretty minimal and like light coverage. So please stay tuned if you guys want to know what are my favorite foundations and my shades. Then please keep on watching till the end. So starting off with the foundation that is super popular these days, and it's the Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation by Maybelline. I think all of you guys might be having this foundation by now because this is so popular, and I'm in the shade 128 warm nude. This is kind of a bit dark for my skin. Like, it looks like it's my skin, but when I kind of apply it on my skin, it tends to oxidize quite a lot. But I love this foundation so much. The only problem with this foundation that I have is I cannot find like my correct shade in the range. I feel like this is like the biggest problem in drugstore. The foundations are amazing, but the shade range is so bad. Either the foundation is like too light, or it's too pink, or it's too dark. So you don't tend to get a foundation that's like your exact skin tone. It's very rare that you're gonna find a foundation that's like to the T for your skin. So this is pretty amazing foundation. It lasts for so long. If you're like a bride, or if you want like that full coverage for like weddings and stuff, I think this foundation is so great. If you find a great shade in it, I love this foundation, but it's kind of dark for me. So this foundation is great if you have oily skin or combination skin, but if you have like really dry skin, you have to moisturize really well before using this foundation. Otherwise, I love it and I highly recommend it. Next foundation that I have from the drugstore is one of my favorites, and I tend to use this foundation quite a lot, and I'm wearing this foundation right now on my skin. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation. So in winters I tend to have pretty dry skin, so I like to use a foundation that's pretty semi matte and kind of on more dewy side, and this is just that foundation. It looks so fresh on the skin and it gives you this like really flawless pretty glow. The thing that I like the most about this foundation is I feel like it keeps looking better and better like throughout the day. So if you like want a foundation that you can just apply and be like carefree, I think this is the foundation for you. This foundation is great if you have more combination to dry skin. If you have oily skin, you can still use this foundation, but I feel like you do need a touch up like throughout the day. So I like this foundation and I highly recommend it to all my beautiful girls out there. I think it's such a great foundation. So talking about the L'Oreal Infallible, I do have a foundation for all my oily skin girls out there that feel like this foundation might not look that great on their skin. I do have another foundation. It's the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and I'm in the shade 105. Again, love this foundation. I feel like this is the kind of foundation that I can even apply it with my fingers. Like, it's so quick and it's like super full coverage and it's easy. Like, this foundation is easy. I do like how it's like a sleek packaging. You can just throw this into your purse. You don't have to worry about like the breakage and everything. Now don't get me wrong, I do like foundations that come in like really pretty glass packaging like this, but I feel like you do need a foundation that you can just throw it in your purse and you don't have to care about it. Like this is the kind of foundation that I like to travel with most of the times, because I don't have to worry about it to like break or anything, and it's going to last you for 24 hours. So that's what I like about this foundation. The only thing again I'm gonna say is I don't tend to get like my spot on shade in this foundation. So I use the shade 105, but it's a bit dark. Like when I apply it, it looks pretty good, but like while I'm done with my makeup, it tends to look a bit dark on my skin. And if you have like really dry skin, this is not the foundation for you. It clings onto dry patches like no other, and it's not going to look good on you. So if you have more combination to dry skin, I think the Fresh Wear is amazing. And if you have more oily to combination skin, you can use this foundation and it's amazing. Like both of them are my ride or die foundations, but I tend to like switch it up. So if my skin is too oily, I'm going to use this one, and if my skin is too dry side, I'm going to use this one. So you can choose in between. So in this foundation, my closest match is 105, and in this foundation I have my shade 120 Vanilla, and this is my spot on shade, and it looks wonderful on my skin and I love it. So talking about the Maybelline and L'Oreal foundations, I do have another Maybelline favorite foundation. That's my recent like favorite foundation, and I use this like almost every single day since I bought it, and it's so good. It makes your skin look so healthy, and it's the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. How underrated is this foundation? I cannot tell you guys. It's so fresh on the skin, and I myself did not know like how amazing this foundation is. So my skin was like pretty dry those days, and I was like, I need to get a foundation that's kind of lightweight and it has like this dewy finish. And I read the ingredients on this foundation, and it had hyaluronic acid and collagen. So I was like, I think this is going to be a more dewy foundation, as the name is like Dream Satin Liquid. So I was like, let me try this out, and I bought it, and it is so freaking amazing. It gives you this glow on your skin and it looks so beautiful. Like especially in the daylight, I feel like this is the foundation that looks so skin-like. It makes your skin look super healthy, and if you have dry skin, this is the foundation for you. Like if you have like that super dry skin, like no matter what foundation you use, no matter what like primer you use underneath, no matter what like you know, moisturizer you use, your skin is still going to peel and it's going to look really dry once you put on like makeup. This is the foundation for you. It's not super full coverage. I would say this is more of a light to medium coverage, not super duper full coverage. I feel like you can't make it like super full coverage even if you put like 3 layers of this foundation. So it's more of like natural. You do need a concealer with this foundation if you want that like really super full coverage, but it's so good. So the next foundation that I have is from Makeup Revolution. So this is like my recent finds from the drugstore, because I have seen this foundation all over my TikTok and people love this foundation. First of all, it's super inexpensive. This is like my first Revolution base product and I love it. So if you're like a working mom, or you need something very super easy like for college or school, and you just need something in like a stick form which you can just apply it and then you can blend it with your fingers or sponge, this is the foundation for you. I think it's so good. So if you have like really dry skin, I do recommend to use something very moisturizing underneath, otherwise this can kind of ball up on your skin and look very dry. I use the shade F6 and it's a pretty great match for my skin. It looks amazing on my skin and it blends seamlessly and I love it. So the next foundation that I have here is definitely one of my most favorite foundations from the drugstore, and this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. This is like my ride or die drugstore foundation. So if I can like pick one foundation from this aisle, I'm definitely going to pick my Milani Concealer in Perfect. This is a perfection in a bottle. So this is like a super full coverage, dramatic, amazing foundation. This is great for dry skin people, oily skin people, combination skin people. It's so good on the skin. It looks beautiful, super duper full coverage. This is like the only foundation that I have actually finished completely. Like if you see the packaging of this foundation, it's gross. Like this is the one that I have like completely used up. There's like absolutely nothing left in this foundation, and I bought another one, and I love this foundation so much. I'm in the shade 01 Creamy Vanilla. This is like maybe the lightest shade that you can get in India. In UK you can definitely get more shades, but in India I feel like this is the lightest shade that you can get. So if you're about my skin tone, you can definitely use this foundation and it's gonna look perfect on your skin. I have recommended this foundation to so many of my friends and they love it, and they always say like, this is the best foundation from the drugstore, and I'm like, yes girl, yes. So yeah, these are my top 5 foundations from the drugstore. I really hope you guys like this video. So I tried to cover up all the skin types. So if you have dry skin, combination skin, oily skin, you can definitely find a foundation for yourself in this top 5 video. And if this video was helpful for you guys, please don't forget to give it a like, comment down below if you like this video, and if you guys want to see more top 5 videos like these. So in the MAC foundations, I tend to be about NC20 to NC25. So if you're my skin tone, you can definitely use these foundation shades for yourself. And please let me know if you guys want to see more such top 5 series, and I'll definitely do it for you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.